These are Lucky Bars by Cooking with Kay. Welcome friends, and I'm Cooking with Kay, and let's get right into it. Here we need a 4-leaf clover. This is your green food coloring, unsalted butter, salt, marshmallows, and Lucky Charms cereal. This is important, but first, let me give you that 4-leaf clover. Now, you're gonna need a half cup of butter. This is important to get unsalted butter. Then, you need salt. You need 1.5 teaspoons. You're gonna need green food coloring. This is what gives you that beautiful color at the end. Marshmallows, I went with big ones. I would honestly probably go with the small ones instead. Then you're gonna need 1 box of Lucky Charms cereal. This is gonna be important that you get the 11.5 ounce box, but you can always go bigger and use a little bit less or more depending on what you want. Then, put it onto medium heat when you get to your stove. The butter is going to take a bit of time to melt, and that's going to be your first thing that you do after you use the non-stick spray. So you put the butter into this pan, and then it's going to start dissolving. This takes a bit more time than what one would think, but it's very important that you dissolve it completely before adding the salt into it. We're getting there. I put this on a time lapse. I think it honestly could have gone a little bit further along than what I did. And that's the consistency right before I put the salt in there. And now we're going to dissolve that salt. It takes almost no time at all. Then it's going to get to the important part. Yes, I did lose a couple marshmallows. That's my mistake. The second mistake I made, honestly, which was before any of this, was getting the big marshmallows. It's going to be important that you get those small ones if you're able to, because you're going to want a nice creamy consistency. These mallows are still going to look like clouds at the moment, so I'm going to need you to keep on stirring. I used a smaller pot than I should have. That maybe was my third mistake. So you keep stirring, and I know it's tempting, but don't take a bite just yet. You're gonna be almost halfway done already by this point, so you might as well just keep on going. And the theme of this is gonna be stir, stir, and keep on stirring. This is important that you do get that creamy consistency, especially before you add the food coloring, because once you add the food coloring, there's no going back. And the other part is that you want to keep stirring so that it doesn't get crispy and crunchy on the bottom. So once you add the food coloring, I think it actually started to look like a Jackson Pollock painting, but you can be the judge of that. Once you finish doing that, you're going to start and keep on stirring. You're going to want to get a nice green and creamy consistency again. Once it starts to look like a dew-covered rolling hill in Ireland on a St. Paddy's Day morning, then you know that you're doing it correct. Getting close now. It's starting to look good. We're not quite finished with it yet. Once it starts to smooth out, you can still see there's a couple marshmallows that aren't quite fully creamy, but I think over here in the next couple seconds it'll be ready. Now I had to move to a bigger pot because the first one wasn't going to be able to hold all of this cereal. But now that I have the bigger pot, I can get all the cereal in, and yes, I did lose a little bit of that Lucky Charms cereal as well. But that's alright, because we're going to keep on with the same theme and you're going to keep on stirring. And I sped this up a little bit, but you want to get all of that green melty marshmallow mix from the bottom and make sure that it evenly coats all of this Lucky Charms cereal. This is going to be important because once you lay it in the pan, there's no going back. And you also want to move a little bit quick with this, because if you wait too long, it starts to harden and then it's going to be hard to work with. So here we go. Let's keep stirring here, and stir and stir and stir. Once that's completed, you put it in a pan, and you can do 2 8x8 pans or go with a 9x13 pan, either or. It should be enough to fill either of those two options. These are going to be a little bit crunchy, a little bit sweet, a little bit salty, but all in all, it's going to be magically delicious. And I just wanted to say thank you for watching this, and I'll be sure to get more content out for you as soon as possible. As always, I hope you have a very great day. Thank you.